if we pay for it up front, just like
wait, but this is what I say. Yeah. You want to take a vacation? You want to take Carnival cruises? Go buy you some Carnival cruise stock, and then it'll pay for your Carnival cruise.
But in all respect to that,
and people, you say they want to do the payment plan, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. People want to put into a payment plan. It's the same payment plan. Boom. A little $50, $60, get you a share. It appreciates. It's golden.
True. You trying to jump in, or you just observing? Yeah. So, but back to what you're saying, though, Pep. But all respect to that, though. But if I buy Carnival Cruise stock today, right? Let's just say I'm enlightened and I feel good about it, but I still need to know when I'm gonna see a return on my money. Like, I'm not gonna make a return fast enough and at a greater return where I could take that cruise if I'm planning a cruise in December. I mean, stocks is a long. The key to it is people can understand that when you're investing, it more than likely it's a long-term strategy. Some things are short-term, right? When you're reselling, or you're investing in something that expects a turn, you're flipping a house or something like that. But for the most part, things that we invest in are supposed to get a return at a later date. So where there's a piece of two people who feel like I need to live in the now because I don't know about tomorrow. Because they're feeling of fear because what they see around them, depending on what area you grew up in or what health conditions your family have been in, you might not be witnessing people who live long, healthy lifestyles. So you're like, I need to do it now. So there's a lot of feelings around this thing about money.
And one reason we see people not living long, healthy lifestyles is financial duress. Yeah, most people who are financially stable, they live a longer life. They have a better way of life. They have a higher quality of life. When you don't have money, the stress of not having money kills more than anything.
And I guess that would have a lot to do with the and then some people just don't value money in the sense of others. Like, some people are very content with not having money, and they aren't stressed.
No,
and they are happy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No question about that.
I think the value of money is what you put on it and into it.
I think it goes back to the relationship, like how you experienced it, because I don't know. I may argue that someone who's content with not having money probably never really had it, right? I would argue that because if you experience, see, money is a tool to enjoy and maximize all that life has to offer, right? So the lack of money or the opportunity to have money allows us to do this podcast. We couldn't have this equipment right here if somebody at this table didn't have the ability to pay for this. You couldn't have got down here, Pep, if money, you know what I mean? So there's even no matter if you're not even factoring in greed, like the necessities is what causes stress.
Yeah, the monetary system we live in.
I get that part.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. I didn't want the conversation to scale too big when we're thinking about like the mansion and the yacht, right? Yeah. We're talking about just everyday necessities, you know what I mean, and being able to just enjoy, not have to work a double shift and be able to make it to your kids'
What's
game.
wrong with the mansion and the yacht?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm going for it. I'm gonna tell you how it feels relatively shortly. Because So watch this though, right? Because I have decided that I'm going to be a millionaire, right? I'm going to say it outwardly, right? And I'm going to vote. I decided I'm going to be a millionaire, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get that. Now, when you say that in a room full of folks, there's a couple of feelings. People who can see themselves doing as well is like, for sure, me too. And people who doubt themselves is like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then there's somebody in the middle.
Or why would he want to be a millionaire? Like,
right.
what does he want to do? Who does he think he is?
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to be the guy with the mansion and the yacht. Right. But here's the thing. With $1 million, you ain't getting both.
Yeah, exactly. I used to think I wanted to be a millionaire, but I know how far $1 million goes. I'd rather be a billionaire.
Yeah. Man, that's 10X.
But what you got to know, and what I see my people do all the time, is we throw pennies away. And I'm going to tell you, you can't get $1 without no pennies. You can't get $1 million without no pennies. if you throw your pennies away, you will never be a billionaire.
Because we feel like the penny is less than us.
And the penny is everything.
Right. But that's, again, about the feeling. We're talking about emotions and money, right? And
Yeah.
so when we talk about emotions and money, like how you handle it, how you distribute it, how you bring it in, is going to all be how you feel about it. You know, and I know that I'm feeling better about my life because I feel better about money. You know, I feel better about earning it. I feel better about what I can do with it, you know. And here's another thing, too. I'm going for millions, you know, because of the power it gives me to do for others. So I'm going for my millions with a purpose. And I think that should be, make sure that's illuminated as well, because people want money for different reasons, you know. But I want money because with the little money that I do have, I find so much joy in providing opportunities for people on a smaller scale. And and we're talking anything from somebody maybe needing some gas money to one of my children, cars breaking down and they need some, you know, whatever I can do to bridge the gap, to me is powerful, which is why I want more, so I can do more.
But let me tell you one thing. You have given more in emotional intelligence than you could ever give in money with the youth and all that stuff.
For sure.
So you keep being you, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, you're a millionaire to me already, man.
That's dope. That's dope, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Because but I guess it could be the same conversation as well, because we're talking about feelings. And, you know, and it's like, and there are some people who, you know, there are people that are ministers and travel the world on $75 a month and sleep in wherever they land. That's where they sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like $1 billion, and they feel like they're worth $1 billion. So like, it's about, when it comes to emotions, it's just about like what is it that you want? Like,
well, we're having a hybrid conversation here. So yeah. I think part of it is like principles that we're talking about. Yeah. But we opened up the segment about your relationship with money, and the impact, right, it has on how you manage it. That's kind of what we're talking about.
And
for sure.
And the weird thing, me and money, I kind of came from I was raised by pimps and hustlers and stuff. So by the time I was 10 years old, I probably literally counted $1 million in cash. Mm-hmm. So I learned how to count money fast early on. And in doing that, I ran through lots of money in my life. Just ran through it. And then once I had a kid in 1997, I said, man, I can't take all this high risk. I can't do all this stuff. I say, either I'm going to go to school and do something, or I got to figure out something.
Right.
And my buddy, he worked down at the stock market. He said, Pep, this right here is something you could do.
Tell us about that stock market experience, man.
So this is how it happened. My buddy, he knew I was really ready to become a civilian. He's like, dude, come down here, man. This is something you could do, you know. And I went down to the trading floor, took a entry-level job, and then I said either I can go to school, right, and pay $10,000, $20,000, or I can go get this job right here and it'll pay me about $25,000, $30,000, and I learn.
Did you have to get like a Series 6, Series 7, or anything?
Nah, in the beginning, you just on the floor. You just ground level. They learn, and they trying to see if they're willing to invest in you in Series 6 or Series 7, you know. But as time progresses, then you have to get that if you want to be.
But and explain to the audience, like, that doesn't necessarily require a 4 years, 10 years, 8 years of college.
This has nothing to do with education whatsoever.
Speak on
it. Has to do with get up and go. Most millionaires might have dropped out of high school, right? It doesn't mean they're not intelligent, but school is not for everybody. School is a tool to teach you how to problem solve. That's what school is for, right? You go to school so you can learn how to work at a job, because if you got a teacher, you probably don't like the teacher. And if you got a boss, you probably ain't going to like the boss. Yeah. So that's what school is, a tool to teach you how to cope with life, right? And if you can do that well, then it translates that you can go in society and get a good job and work well. Some people, they understand the problem solving part. They ain't with all that boss this thing, and they say, I'm out. I'll be my own boss, and it's something different. But school is a good learning tool.
Because because people are your greatest resource. Yeah. So you're gonna meet some good people in school, and like you said, the problem solving, the comprehension, you know what I mean, how to comprehend something, how to, take in some information and make sense out of it, all that stuff, the work ethics, right, will help you when school. And so I think that for each is his own, no doubt about that. But for those of us or for our audience out there who is trying to figure out, how to align themselves properly with the relationship with money, I just would encourage them to go back to their earlier experiences with money.
Yeah.
And see how it plays a part in today. And then also think about how you feel. So when you get paid on Friday, right, or Thursday or whenever you get paid, like what's that feeling? Right? Are you celebratory? Some people get paid and it's more stressful. There was time in my career where I got paid and it was depressing because I was short. Right? So you working, follow me though.
No.
Right?
For most
7 out of 10 Americans, right? I'm working, right? I'm working at the probation department. I am one of the highest ranking, if not the highest ranking manager on the floor. Right, making less than 2 levels down that I'm supervising because they got action at all the overtime and all that kind of stuff. I'm sitting here working longer hours, putting up with all the controversy. And when I get paid, if I didn't have another hustle going on, I'd be totally behind. Right. And so I used to get, lightweight frustrated and depressed a little bit, like not even looking forward to payday. Right. Payday was just a stipend. You know what I mean? But I always knew I had to keep being innovative to balance that and to get ahead. And it wasn't until another reason why I left, began because in our community, right, somebody like me, ex-felon, who to land a job in law enforcement, so to speak, becomes a hometown hero, right, in terms of a career. Every time I come up somewhere, people look at me like, you got that good job. You know what I mean? And they're celebrating that, but I'm thinking, man, there's way more out here to do. And, I'm kind of tired of that narrative of the story, right? You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't until I freed myself, so to speak, where I don't have money issues no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because now my creativeness and my bandwidth is way wider. You know what I mean? I can have conversations and be and do things, right? So right here, right, this is today's Wednesday. Yeah. If I was working.
And 2 in the afternoon?
2 in the afternoon, I couldn't be having this right here, right? I could sit here all day and just have people come through and talk on this podcast and be way more fulfilling than I was working for somebody in the show. And the truth be told, the potential from what we're doing here, this content we're creating, right, expands way farther and has way greater reach and potential of creating an income, right, than I did working for somebody. And that makes me feel great. You know what I'm saying? So
with that being said, why is EI important in money?
Well, like we've been talking, having emotional intelligence when it comes to money, because if you are scared of having money, if you are intimidated by money, or you have a disrespect towards money, it's not going to stick around. And what's going to happen is that when you need it the most, it's not going to be there for you. And that, my friend, will send you into depression. It will make you angry. It will make your relationships unhealthy. So tons of reasons why you need to have a good relationship with money and feel good about it. But again, our defense mechanisms make us go straight to trying to minimize. If you start talking about money around people, you make people uncomfortable that can't earn it. So they start telling you reasons why you shouldn't have it. And money is not everything. It's the root to all evil, which is the most silliest thing I've ever heard. Money ain't the root to all evil. It's the people who handle it is the root to the evil.
And like you were saying, the one thing that black people have a problem with, why we're such the fear of money, because if you have a financial advisor or advisor of any type, you need to be totally transparent with your advisor so that they can advise you at the fullest of their